The Lord says to him, look, I'm going to send you to speak to a nation, and here's what you're going to do. Verse number 10 is the verse I want to focus our attention in on. Verse 10 talks about order, disorder, and reorder. Now let's look at the verse. Verse 10 says, see, I have set you this day, Jeremiah, because these are Jerry's journal entries. Remember, the book is written in an autobiographical style. And so these are entries into Jerry's journal. And the Lord says to him, see, I have set you this day over the nations and kingdoms. I have set you over the Goyim. I have set you over kingdoms. There's the ordered element. I am gives him an instruction. I have set you, I have established you, I have appointed you to a particular function. I've set you over the nations and over kingdoms because you are going to be saying something that would be the death knell of those who oppose God. So here's the order element. 10a, I have set you this day over the nations and kingdoms. Then 10b, the disorder element. I've set you over kingdoms and nations to do what? To pluck up and to break down, to destroy and to overthrow. There's the disorder element. I'm going to set you over these nations and kingdoms because you are going to speak a word that is going to rout them. A word that is going to bring such consternation and confusion, they won't know what hit them. But they will know when it hits them. So it's order, a man appointed for a task by I am, with a message of great disorder and chaos. And then moving into the third element, a reordered life. I've set you over nations and over kingdoms to build and to plant. And there's the reorder element. As in the fractal of the Christ event, Christ lived, Christ died, Christ rose again. John 12, except a corn or grain of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abides alone. But if it lives alone, it will spring up into life, abundant life. Same idea here. Order, you have an appointed task which you need to execute. Disorder, I'm going to get you to speak a word about I'm going to pluck up and break down, destroy, and overthrow. And these are all partial verbal ideas. We call in English participles. They are partial verbal ideas showing the task that he is appointed to. He has been set up by God to function in a particular way. But that's not the end. I am will restore. I am will regather. I am will build and rebuild and plant and replant. A very familiar passage in chapter 29. The plans I have for you are for good and not for harm. Well, those plans were spoken, those designs were pointed at a people in exile. They will be in captivity, and God says, you're going to build, you're going to plant, you're going to marry, you're going to give your daughters in marriage, you're going to make a life inside of captivity. We tend to use that verse as a hang-loose verse for anything that happens to us and everything that could happen to us. Well, that verse lives somewhere. It lives in captivity to a people who would be exiled, cut away from the familiar, cut away from their land. And this would be the message that he will go forward with, because remember, he's a young man and his legs buckle, because in verse 7 he says, I'm only a youth. Here, ek is nog jonk. Ek het nog my res van my lewe voor my. I'm only a youth. And the Lord says, do not say, I am only a youth, from verse 6. For all to whom I send you, you shall go, and whatever I command you, you shall speak. Do not be afraid, for I am with you to deliver you, declares the Lord. So he's got this fractal message, this message of order, disorder, and reorder. And the Lord says, if you are terrified to utter this message, I'm going to terrify you before this people. Ek gaan vir jou laat bang wees, as jy vir hierdie mense bang is. And so the Lord assures him, listen, you need to stand strong, because this is my word. It will achieve that for which I have intended it to do or to execute. So now we come to our own lives. We come to our story. We've looked at the backstory yesterday. We've looked at some of the front story today, the life of the prophet and how he's called. Now let's come to your and my story. And I want to pose 3 questions. What in your life has a semblance of order at the moment as you wake this morning? What are the ordered elements of your life? And all of us have them. We get up, we dress ourselves, wash our faces, brush our teeth. We have a regimen. There's a semblance of order. So what in your life has a semblance of order this morning? Think through that. Because now you need to go to the second question. What in your life is scrambling your composure? Is messing with your order? It's bringing about an element of consternation and dissonance and disorder. Nothing short of chaos. Some of you couldn't sleep last night or throughout the night because something has been bothering you and eating at you. And now the third question. What would it take for you to reorder your life? So some very keen questions to ponder. What in your life has a semblance of order? What is scrambling your life this morning? And what would a reordered life look like? So think through that. Become strategically intentional about thinking through what's happening to you and inside of you. Get in touch with you. Don't live a schizophrenic life, a fragmented life. That's what schizophrenia is, a shattered life. Because something has happened in our brains and we can't make sense out of life. So those are 3 potent questions. Over to you, Theo.
Thank you so much, Terry. I'm introducing this little song in the background that may be a way for us to remind ourselves of taking some of these serious steps in relation to those 3 very pertinent questions. Thank you so very, very much, Terry, for taking us through this morning. For those of you who listened in, please do join us tomorrow morning again, same time. Right here on the 5th Connection. You're very, very welcome to join us at 7 o'clock. That is Central European time and South African time. Terry, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, my brother, for this morning. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Theo. Thanks, listeners.
But still I hear you calling me. Those simple things that I once knew. The memories are drawing me. I must confess, Lord, I've been blessed, but yet my soul's not satisfied. Renew my faith, restore my joy, then try